Mario and Sonic, two gaming icons joined together to compete in the Olympic Games. This time around, it's the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. While not my all-time favorite installment, this one is definitely a fun one, even more so than Rio, because it has a compelling story mode, surprisingly fun minigames, but most importantly, a lot of fun events to play. Today, I'm counting down my top 10 favorite Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 events. Not digging that name change, by the way. Rules first, as usual. I will not be counting any minigames or 1964 events, since those each deserve their own lists, and this is only my opinion and no one else's. I'm speaking only for myself, as always. Alright, that's the end of this intro, so hajime! Kicking off this list is boxing. In this event, two players are boxing. You know, punching each other with huge leather gloves. They must keep doing so until one of them falls, at which point the downed player must button mash to get back up. Players also have the option to block. Additionally, as players both give and take damage, their super meter will charge, and once it's fully charged, the player can unleash a super punch combo, which is much more powerful than a regular punch, and therefore deals much more damage. To win, the player must knock his or her opponent down 3 times in one round, resulting in a total knockout, or TKO for short. The player also wins if their opponent fails to button mash fast enough when down. This event is unique, well, in this game, and quite fun, especially since I sometimes enjoy watching boxing in real life. The controls are also pretty fun to use. All of that earns boxing 10th place. Ninth place is table tennis. In this event, two players, each with a paddle, take turns hitting a ball back and forth to one another, and failing to do so gives the other player a point. The first player to a certain amount of points is the winner, as table tennis always goes. However, this is Mario and Sonic, so it's not just simple table tennis. Like in boxing, players have super meters, which charge over time, and once they're fully charged, players can use super shots, which are much harder to hit back than regular shots. So this event is pretty simple, but that's just it. It's nice and simple. It's also just plain fun, especially with the super shots. Also, side note, this version of table tennis is my favorite in the series. That's enough for table tennis to earn 9th place. Do you really need a pun every single time? Eighth place is gymnastics. In this event, 8 players take turns performing several gymnastics tricks, such as jumping and sticking the landings, flipping and spinning and balancing by pushing and/or mashing buttons and rotating the joystick. Doing so scores players points, and the better their speed when doing so, the more points they'll score, and the player with the best score at the end is the winner. Sorry, that's all there really is to this event's gameplay. However, I love it because, as I'm sure you know by now, I just enjoy pushing buttons when playing video games. It also requires good timing, specifically when landing after jumping, and you should also know how much I love games that require good timing by now. It's also quite challenging, although it gets easier the more you practice. For all those reasons, gymnastics easily earns 8th place. Seriously, you can't expect a pun every time. Coming in at 7th place is sport climbing. In this event, 8 players take turns scaling a huge rock wall. To do so, they must jump from rock to rock by using the joysticks to aim, then pressing the trigger button at just the right time to grab onto it. The player to climb the highest on the wall in the time limit is the winner. However, there's more to it than this. Players have a stamina meter, which will drain a little with each jump. However, there are heart-shaped rocks, which restore the meter when the player grabs them. Also, if the player fails to grab a rock after jumping, he or she will fall down to the last checkpoint he or she passed, thus costing valuable time. There are also star-shaped rocks, which allow players to perform super jumps that make them move much faster. I like this event for pretty much the same reasons as gymnastics. Well, bar the challenging part, because I love games that require lots of button pushing and good timing. However, I prefer this one just a little, because it lasts longer and is a bit more fun. That's why sport climbing climbs right onto 7th place. Sixth place is surfing. In this event, 8 players take turns shredding waves on surfboards. Specifically, they must jump off waves and perform spin tricks in midair to score points. Good timing when jumping and long combos grant lots of bonus points, and of course, the highest scoring player at the end is the winner. But again, it's Mario and Sonic, so there's a lot more to it than just this. Players can also ride in tube waves, and when doing so, must use the joystick to maintain balance, which also gives a lot of bonus points. Players also have super meters, and when said meter is fully charged, they can perform super tricks, which grant a lot more points than regular ones. Not only is this event really fun, it's also a good challenge, and once again, requires good timing, and it's also very unique. Heck, I'd even say it's one of a kind. For all of its awesomeness, surfing surfs right into 6th place. Fifth place is football, or as we Americans call it, soccer. In this event, 2 teams of 4, or if the goalie counts, 5, are playing soccer. You know, kicking a ball into the other team's goal, while at the same time protecting their own goal. Doing so scores a team 1 point, and the team with the most points after 2 periods wins the event. Players can also pass the ball to teammates, as well as steal it from opponents, as soccer always goes. But yet again, it's Mario and Sonic, so this isn't all there is to it. Teams have access to super meters, once again, and when the meter is fully charged, players can make super shots, which are much harder for the goalie to block than regular shots. This event is just very fun and requires teamwork, which I'm sure you know how much I love, and as I've said before, I just like soccer as a sport. That seems like enough for football to kick its way into 5th place. Fourth place is 4x100 meter relay. In this event, 4 teams of 4 race on a 400 meter track and take turns running a baton to an incoming teammate, or the finish line in the anchor's case. The first runner starts the race, and if he or she starts running at just the right time, he or she will get a speed boost. He or she must then run 100 meters toward his or her teammate, the second runner, and pass the baton over. If the pass is timed well, the receiver will get a speed boost. The second runner must then do the same with the third runner, then him/her with the anchor. Once the anchor receives the baton, he or she must sprint to the finish line in hopes of arriving before any opponents. If this is done, that runner's team wins. Every runner can also use a special dash to briefly increase their speed. I love games that require teamwork and good timing, and ones that have racing. Would you like some ice in your soda? And that's all. 4x100 meter relay, relays on nothing for 4th place. Third place goes to Rugby Sevens. In this event, 2 teams of 7, hence the name, must run a football-shaped ball to the other team's goal. Doing so scores teams points, and Akirakani, the highest scoring team after the final period, is the winner. But for the 100th time, it's Mario and Sonic, so there's more to it than this. To score, players must run the ball to the goal to score a try, followed by kick the ball through the goalpost to score a conversion. And when on defense, players must steal the ball by tackling opponents, although they can dodge by jumping. Teams also, Hutatabi, have super meters, and once fully charged, they can perform a super dash, which can help both on offense and defense. I like this event for the same reasons as football, because it's very fun and requires teamwork, but I prefer this one because I find it more fun. That's enough for Rugby Sevens to earn 3rd place. Finally, a dream event. Running up is Dream Karate. In this event, 4 players are fighting each other karate style, hence the name. To do so, they can punch, kick, and throw, as well as dodge their opponent's attacks. But for the millionth time, it's Mario and Sonic, so... do I even need to say it? The players are fighting above tile spaces, and when they knock foes down with their attacks, any tiles the foe lands on will become theirs. Each claimed tile grants 1 point, and the player with the most points after time expires is the winner. Players also have super meters. What else is new? And once they're fully charged, they can use super attacks, which launch opponents much further, and therefore grant more tiles. They also have access to items, which make it easier for them to score tiles, either by messing with opponents or protecting themselves. This event is Kiwamete fun and thrilling, with a very epic and clever concept. And as you should know, watashi wa suneni kakuto geimu o aishite kimashita. That's all there is to why Dream Karate easily fights its way into 2nd place. Meio aru Olympiku. 15th place is equestrian. 8 players take turns riding a horse through an obstacle course and must cross the finish line as fast as possible, jumping hurdles in the process with good timing to speed up. The player to clear the course in the shortest time wins. Although not as good as the Rio version, this one is still quite fun, with fun to use controls. 14th place is Dream Shooting. Individual players or teams of 2, depending on the chosen mode, must explore a building and find and shoot targets with pop guns, or the like, to score points, and the player/team with the most points when time is up wins. This one's just fun with a quite clever concept, and I've always loved shooting games. You probably thought it'd be higher, but to be honest, the forced use of motion controls kinda kills it for me. 13th place is fencing. 2 players must strike each other with épées to score points, and the first to reach a certain amount of points wins. They can also parry and use super shots, which score more points than regular thrusts. This one is just fun, with fun features and fun to use controls.
You said fun so much? It sounds all weird now. Fun.
12th place is canoe. 4 teams of 2 compete in a canoe race and must proceed by repeatedly pressing the joystick down at just the right time. The better their timing, the faster they'll move, and the first team to reach the finish line wins. This one is nice and simple and requires good timing. Not gonna remind you how much I love that. Saigo ni, 11th place is karate. 2 players are fighting each other karate style, as opposed to dojo. Just like in Dream Karate, they can punch, kick, and throw, as well as block, instead of dodge, and each successful hit scores 1 point. The first player to 10 points wins. They also have access to super meters, which, when fully charged, allow them to use super attacks, which can score multiple points at once. This event is just the Olympic version of its Dream counterpart, so you already know why I like it. Finally, number 1. It's a Dream event and is Sonic themed. Yeah, it's what you think it is. It's none other than Dream Racing. In this event, 8 players race on a Sonic-themed track with hoverboards. They must ride along, speeding up by shredding rails, driving over dash panels, jumping off ramps at the right time, and performing mid-air tricks, dodging obstacles, and collecting rings. The more they do all of these, the faster they'll move, and the first player to cross the finish line is the winner. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm about to say, so I'm not even gonna bother saying it. Players also have access to items, which they can use to either protect themselves or mess with opponents and give themselves an edge. They also have access to super meters for the billionth time, and when said meter is fully charged, they can perform super tricks, which give much bigger speed boosts than normal tricks. This event is, like Dream Karate, Kiwamete fun and thrilling, with a Kiwamete epic and clever concept. And of all the things I've said you should know thus far in this video, here's the most obvious one of all. Watashi wa itumo Rejingu Game o aishite kimashita. With all of its awesomeness, there's no denying it. Dream Racing is easily my number 1 favorite Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 event of all time. Hitokuchi no Olympiku! So there you have it, my top 10 Hitokuchi no Olympiku of all time. For more videos like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, please check out my social media. All links are in the description. Arigatou gozaimasu for watching. See you next time. Mikoro Glyscore 472, out.